takes a second. There we go. We're almost live. There we go. Here we are. We are now live. It's of course like running for a few minutes. Okay, welcome everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Misty Petrella, and I am this is an impact and income interview where I interview. Oh, hold on. I got to mute myself. Hello. Oh, I got to mute myself. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I can't have it reverberate back in. This impact and income interview is all about interviewing other amazing women out there who are doing this work of transforming the world, of having an impact in their community, and also creating income doing it. And I am here with Ellie Bell, who is an empowerment coach, and Erin Hodgson, who is a spiritual mentor. And we are talking today about showing up as the best version of yourself. So if you have any questions about that, you type them in the comment box. Hold on, let me get to the screen so I can see the comment box. One moment, please. And oh, there it is. Okay, you type any questions you have into the comment box, and we are going to chat here about stepping into the best version of yourself. So how did you two, first of all, how did you two come together? Let's talk about that first, because I think this is probably really
the come together story. So we were lucky. It was like when I was thinking about it the other day, and it's actually really random that it happened. So it was obviously meant to be, as we totally know now. But
meant to be.
we were both in this random group based over in the UK, actually, a Facebook group, and she was looking for moderators to do some work in it. So we put our hands up and started doing that, and kind of got to chatting. And I think the fact we're both the only two in New Zealand was quite nice. I'm originally from the UK, but Erin's a local, and so we kind of connected from that anyway, and just sort of said hello type of thing. And then I decided I wanted to put together a summit for self-acceptance and speak to women who have been going through a journey of self-acceptance, because I think it's one of the most important things that we have to do in our journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. And Erin put her hand up and said, I'll happily chat to you. I don't think I've got anything to say, but I'll happily chat. So the first conversation we had went on for 2 hours, and let's just say we haven't stopped talking since. Would that
True story? True story.
That's so good. That's amazing. Now, how did you two decide you were going to tackle this idea of like showing up as your best self? What that really means? Like, how did you two started to develop that with each other? How did that happen?
Go on, Erin.
Wow.
You can take this one.
It became really apparent really quick that we both had the same sort of values. Excuse me, around just women, the way that women had been oppressed, the way that women are held small, and the way society shapes that. If I'm not going to mention the P word, but if you mention that word, Ellie will talk about it for hours in a very very excited kind of a way. But we talked about that, and we had some deeply personal conversations around that stuff. And then I can't remember exactly how it happened, but sometime in May, I think, we were talking about what we were doing individually in that space. And it just kind of became part of the conversation that we're like, well, what would it look like if we were doing that together? And then everything just hit like light speed, and suddenly we were creating a business together. We've just finished running a 12-week program. We've got a Facebook group. We've got all of these memberships and coaching series and stuff that we've already done. And now we're into that next step of saying, right, let's bring in some incredible women and do some deeper work. So yeah, it was really quite a very organic sort of a process, but one of those ones where it feels like you've poured a whole pile of fertilizer on it, because it just grew really quick.
I think what became really clear really quickly as well was that we both have very similar values, and we both kind of want the same outcome, but we come at it from different angles. You know, I'm very much a coach. I love the coaching piece of it. It lights me up. That whole like questioning and finding stuff out. It ties in with my astrological sign of being a Scorpio and needing to find information. You know, I just love it. But then Erin comes from another really, you know, beautiful angle where she has sort of much more of the spiritual elements. So together you kind of get like this beautiful mix of everything you need, but with two people. You know, I'm the slightly overexcited one, in case you hadn't noticed. I'm sort of the one who has so many words, sometimes has to be told to shut up. And Erin is sort of the slightly, you know, calmer, more earthy, more sort of, you know, sort of chilled person. But having both those energies just works really nicely. And I think it's something that's a bit unique out there. I don't think you tend to see that too often. So we were like, boom, let's do this.
Yeah,
very
and
cool.
I think it just became really, really easy to envision what we had thought about for ourselves. It was so much easier to see that vision in play when we had both of us in it. I know for me, you know, like I had spent a long time trying to work out what am I supposed to do in the world. You know, I have all these spiritual gifts. I'm a medium. I have like all of these different things, and ancestral work, and you know, past life stuff, and all of that stuff kind of coming together. And I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. And then, but the minute that I started to see Ellie in the vision, it became a whole lot clearer exactly what I could do and how I could do it. And I couldn't do this work without Ellie in it. Because she is such a big part of what I do in the world now, that that's just how it's come about. So I firmly believe
she thinks that.
Oh, this is such a vote for like sisterhood, you guys. Come on, this is like amazing. You're doing a business together. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I feel very, very lucky to be working with Ellie and to be doing this work with her, because the people that we support and the women that we invite in, they're women who are ready to really live their best version of themselves and step into their own power. And I feel like the relationship that I have with Ellie has allowed me to do that. So I have every confidence that we can do that together.
Look at Ellie. She can. I think of the compliment wave coming her way. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, and then I try and say it back to her, and she's like, "Oh." So I'm not even good. She's amazing too.
That's all right. Sister love, like receive.
Yeah.
So what does it mean for both of you? Either whoever wants to go first. What does it mean to show up as the best version of yourself? Why is that so important? I mean, I agree wholeheartedly, but I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, I think for me, it was that realization that I wanted to show up as myself everywhere. Like it almost felt like I had a load of different masks or different hats to put on. You know, I was Ellie the coach. If I go back before, you know, I was Ellie the senior exec. And then I became a mum, and then I was a wife, or the other way around, or however it happened. You know, it always felt like I was switching, and I had to kind of think, oh, now what am I doing here? How do I have to? And it just felt like there was a piece missing. It always felt like there was something that wasn't quite, it's like the jigsaw puzzle with a couple of corners missing, really. So I think for me, living your best self, being that whole person is what's important. It's about facing those things that, you know, have happened in life. You know, we all carry trauma, we all carry wounds, we all need healing, and that is the simple fact of it. I had a very beautiful childhood. I was very, you know, loved by my parents. I had nothing major there, but I've still got a load of stuff I've got to work through.
Everyone's got trauma. You're not getting away.
When we start to accept that and know that it's part of our journey to heal that and understand it, it makes it so much. There's so much wonderfulness in that discovery. Like you just find depths to yourself. Like I feel like I lived in this much of myself for so long, and now it's like, you know, I feel like I'm a whole person. Yeah, so that's me.
Well, that's amazing. So this helps you step into your whole self. That's what you're saying. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. What about for you, Ms. Erin?
Well, I mean, for me, so I'm 39. I probably spent nearly 38 years of my life living by other people's standards and other people's values, and always feeling like I never quite really fit with what I was doing and where I was, but not really having the bravery or the clarity, I guess, to actually step into a different way of doing things and a different way of being. I lived a very masculine sort of energy all the time. Like, you know, the plan was set out by everybody else. You do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then you're a success and hooray for you. And you know, I think I have had this like awakening in the last 12 to 18 months where I've really started to understand that the reason I didn't feel like I fit is because I was living by everybody else's standards and everyone else's values. And by exploring what mine are, and by owning those and really being unafraid to live inside of them. And I'm not going to lie, Ellie is a massive, massive part of that bravery for me. Having someone in your corner all the time changes the energy that you have around being brave and being bold. But also, like, I feel like there is something that I am here for that is bigger than what I was ever going to do if I didn't step out of that. And, you know, I have 2 young children, I have a wife, I have some beautiful friends, and all of them deserve a better version of me than what I was giving them, because I was really deeply unsatisfied with what I had in my life. And that's not to say that I wasn't happily married, that I wasn't happy being a parent, wasn't happy doing what I was doing. But I think there's another level of happiness that we get when we really own who we are and what we're here for. And and so that's the essence of the work for me, really, is that it's about really being prepared to put ourselves at the top of the tree and say, actually, like, everything that I do is rooted in me being me.
Yeah.
And when I do that, that gives you permission to be you. It gives everybody permission to go after the things that they want to have. But it also allows us to really live that heart-centered life, that soul-led, intuitive life that the world has been lacking, and that it badly needs, so that the collective healing can happen. So yeah, that's
really
it
good.
for
I
me.
think that for me, that really sticks out, the part about the values, because we as women are taught to attach to other people's values instead of like really figuring out what our own are. So
Totally.
And that affects our businesses so much. It affects our lives 1000%. But we're in a business group right here. So, but I hear what you're saying. That's such a big deal. Understanding what your values are, even in your own business, is essential. Could not agree.
I think once you start to understand that, you are able to put it across everything, because, you know, a lot of people can be really happy in their business and feel really successful, but, you know, they get home and there's still that sort of slight emptiness, because it's like, well, you know, I've done everything. I've went to university. I, you know, had the good job. I got, you know, met a husband, had my children.
I did all the things I'm supposed to do. Right.
Tick the boxes.
Everything should be great. And yet there's something that's just not quite. And I think as women, owning that and being okay with the fact that we want more, like, it's almost like, it's like, you've got this, you should be grateful. You've got an amazing life, so you should be grateful for that. And I'm 100% for gratitude. I think it's the most incredible practice that you can have.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that I can't want more. And we kind of get stuck in our heads that that's it. We shouldn't want more, that we should be just, you know, grateful for what you've got, sit quietly and be very happy that, you know, you've got a nice life and that's enough. But there's so much more that I want to do.
Oh, yes. And for like purpose and mission driven women, like, are in this group, that happens for a lot of us. It's that balance of like, I have one thing set up and the other thing's not, or I'm good in my relationship, but my business sucks. Or like, I'm not talking to my parent, or that us showing up as our best selves has to help with all of that.
I think it allows us to redefine success. Yeah. Right. Like when we show up as our best selves, when we really know who we are and what lights us up, and we get into alignment with that in all aspects of our lives, we redefine what success looks like. And when we do that, when you feel successful because you've shown up in a way that makes you feel good about yourself, it doesn't matter if you're making 10K months or 100K months. It doesn't matter if you're married for 10 years or if you never get married, but you just maintain a supportive relationship with someone in some way. Like, you can be perfectly okay with being single and earning almost nothing and living in a cardboard box if you feel successful.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's not something we're trained.
It's a feeling first, right? It's always a feeling first. It's not like
exactly.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's just about balancing that masculine and feminine energy around how we do things in our lives. And it's something that we're not taught as children, or historically we weren't taught how to do that. And so part of what we do is about being able to not just live that, but be able to show the next generation and the generations after that this is the better way to show up for yourself. And when you do that, the whole world around you changes. And that's really important for us as parents. That's something that we hold quite dear to our mission.
Well, good.
Is that the next probably not the next generation, but the one after that is the one that really needs to see the impact of what we do now.
100% true. Yeah. So are you going to be sharing about this sometime soon? Do you have an event coming up for us to pay attention to? I'll drop the link, guys, after this. After I hit send and upload it, I'll drop the link. But what can we invite people to?
Yeah, so we've got a program called She Awakens, which is very much based around our 3-step process that we've designed, which is about knowing the self. So really learning to know who you are, know the shadow, the good, the bad, like everything. It really is about, getting that full 360 vision of who you are, and it's such important work. So that's the S. Then we've got the H, which is the healing, and this is about learning to like yourself. So it's about like being okay with the way you look, the way you show up, the way you parent, the way you have your business, whatever it is. It's about really being able to kind of forgive anything that's been holding you back, because that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And then the E is for expansion. So this is where you learn to trust, that where you just know that you can have that inner knowing. I mean, as women, we're so lucky that we have this intuitive ability that is so easy to access once we know we can, and it's just so cool when you can do that. So She Awakens is all about that, and it starts sort of back end of September, but we are starting to take calls for people who may be interested. So if anyone is interested, then we would love to connect. You can join our Facebook group, and we will be running a coaching series in about 4 weeks, but we haven't quite got the date exactly right. So lots going on. Erin, what have I missed off? Because I always miss something. When you're
ready, when the coaching series is ready, I'll just have you back on and we'll talk about it, and we'll invite people into the coaching series.
Yeah, amazing.
They're good, guys. They're good. I've been in them. They're juicy. It's very healy and feminine and amazing. The energy is very loving and connected. I highly recommend
Bless
it.
You.
So,
Bless
you.
You.
Absolutely. Do you know the name of the coaching series yet, or you're still working those bits out?
We're probably still working it out. We've got a vague idea, but
I'll share it.
Yeah.
Ladies, She Awakens is coming up now. If someone wants to find out more about She Awakens, how do they get a hold of it? Should they go to a website? Should they?
Yeah, they can check out the webpage.
Yeah, website, or join our group. We've got a group called Awakening the Wise Woman Community.
There we go. Awakening the Wise Women. Yes. Is that Awakening the Wise Woman? Is that what it means?
Yeah. Awakening the Wise Woman Community is the name of the Facebook group.
And we will reach out and say hello and share whatever and find out what it is that you're looking for. We just love, as you might be able to tell, I certainly have shown I have many words. Erin also does. So we have partners that need us to use these words in other places. My husband literally tunes out. And I'm just like, but darling, you're not listening to me.
If you just would, your whole world would transform.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Yeah. That's amazing. Well, ladies, thank you so much for being here. Erin and Ellie, I'm honored to be in your world, in your space. It's so lovely hanging out with you. I wanted to make sure that everyone in this community knew that this thing that helps you show up as your best self is absolutely available to you right now. So She Awakens.
Well, thank you so much. We're very, very grateful. Yeah. We're grateful to be connected to you and for your support. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Guys, go to Awakening the Wise Woman Community is the name of
I'll
the
drop a link. I'll drop a link in the comments.
to it as soon as we're done with this. And guys, thank you so much for being here today.
There you're amazing.
Incredible people having impact and income at the same time. It is completely possible. Okay, so I'm going to have lots more interviews like this, ladies. So just stick with us. And guys, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys later. Oh, well, hold on. I'm just going to end the recording. Okay, bye, guys. Bye.